All right, good morning, folks. We're going to try it from here because it's a little easier to find me there. I'm just trying to get this. It's always so hard to do a flow in the morning where you guys can see my feet and everything. All right, we're going to adjust it there. Take the kitty thing out of the way. Anyway, good morning and welcome to the Flow Yoga. I'm Joanna. I'm going to stand probably right about here. That's what worked best last week. So let's go through this. I'm going to try my best so you can see my hands and legs as best you can. I should really have a camera person, but I don't. They're not awake yet. All right, so from here, I just want you to come to the front of your mat, both feet together about hips distance apart. And just connect with your breath. It's been quite a long night for me. The Texas Workforce Commission, it's the first time I've ever had to do this, was busy all day yesterday and all night for the most part. And then I got through at 6 o'clock this morning without a problem. So 80 phone calls later and probably 4 to 6 hours spent online, and then I just got through in 20 minutes this morning. Little blessings that we have. So I'll take a few deep breaths in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. And deep breath in and exhale. We'll do a few sun salutes A to get going. So that's an inhale, raise the arms up overhead, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. And on the first one, you can just reach forward and touch shins. Inhale, exhale, place hands on the floor and come back into a plank. Inhale. Exhale, you can go down knees to chest to chin and roll forward and up, or just go into your low push-up. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And on this first one, ease into it and ease back. Gosh, I'm trying to get this better, guys. I'm sorry about the camera work so you can see what's going on. Hey, guys. All right, sorry. Deep breath in. We're going to go through a sun salute A again. So that's an inhale. Raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward from hips. Let's bring this back. Not quite the way. All right, so we'll try that again. So it's an inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway, touch shins. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, we're going to place hands down on the ground, step back into plank. And that's an inhale. Exhale, lower down, knees to chest to chin. Or you can come down into a chaturanga, elbows to the ribs, and lower down. Now on an inhale, drop the knees down, roll the chest open, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So the hips go over your heels, straighten the legs, and breathe in and out 3 times. Inhale, look to the hands. Exhale, soften knees. Inhale, jump, step, or walk. Bring the feet between your hands. Inhale and lengthen spine. Exhale, pause. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, place both hands down on the floor. Inhale, lengthen into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or lower down to that half push-up or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take 3 breaths here. Inhale, look to the hands. Exhale, soften the knees. Inhale, jump, step, or walk. Bring feet between the hands and lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Now inhale, come all the way up to standing. Raise the arms up overhead and look toward the thumbs. Exhale, bring your hands through to the center of your heart space. Let's do this now into a sun salutation B. So the first step here, you're gonna actually take a squat. So you'll press the weight down into the heels, and it's what we call chair pose. So you're squatting down, hips are raised, hips are sitting back, knees are bent, shins are slightly bent, your arms come up overhead. Now if your shoulders are tight, you just raise up, gaze is up, but the neck is long. Inhale, exhale, we'll straighten legs, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, jump or step back into that plank position, and then lower down into Chaturanga Dandasana, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, we're going to step the right foot forward into a lunge, or into what we call a warrior one. Toes and heels are straight ahead. Back heel drops down. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Now exhale, reach out and down. Both hands touch. Inhale, lengthen into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we'll step forward or lunge with the left leg. Toes and heels straight ahead. Back heel drops down, 45 degrees. Inhale, hips are angled forward into warrior one. Exhale, both hands down on the floor and come into plank. Inhale, exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or into that low push-up. Roll over the toes. Inhale, open up the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now you can place the knees down, drop back into child's pose, and sink back if you want to. That's another way of transitioning. Inhale, and exhale. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, lift to the hands. Exhale, soften knees. Inhale, jump, step, or walk. Feet between the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we're going to drop into that chair pose, sinking, raising the arms up overhead and hold. Inhale, come up to standing, straighten legs and hips. And exhale, bring the hands through the heart space. So we'll do that same thing again. So we'll just repeat those steps, what's called a sun salutation B. Inhale into the little chair pose. Arms up, baby squat. Exhale, straighten legs, dive forward, hinge forward. If your hamstrings are tight, keep them slightly bent and place hands at the shins. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands in plank. Stepping back. Inhale in that plank. Exhale, bend the elbows into that Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. And take 4 breaths. Inhale, lift to the hands. Exhale, soften knees. Inhale, jump, step, or walk. Feet between the hands. Inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, now coming into chair pose again. Bending knees. And come up. Okay, you are seeing me. Okay. And exhale, come back up. Sun salute B 1 more time. Inhale, bending the knees into chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, jump or step back into that plank position. Inhale, exhale, lower down into that low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. I'm rolling over my toes and opening my chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Two more deep breaths. Inhale, lift to the hands. Exhale, soften the knees. Inhale, jump, step, or walk. Feet between the hands. And lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Now coming into chair pose. Drop into it. Inhale, arms up overhead. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart space. Now we're going to build off of chair pose for the next sequence. What I'd like you to do, so feet are just about hips distance apart, a little narrower, kind of like a skier squat right now. And what we'll do, we'll come into chair and extend our spine really long. And so I'm going to do this first one facing you. So we'll inhale into chair. Now keeping your spine super long, bring the hands into your heart space. Keeping space between the thigh. We're gonna lengthen out just a little bit, rotate the rib cage, keeping the knees as straightforward as possible, and place one elbow on the right knee. So left elbow is to your right knee, hands are together. Lengthen the spine. Now if this is too much to bend forward like that in the morning, you can always just place a hand, meaning left hand on thigh, right hand on hip. Now we're going to hold that right foot steady and step back with the left. Okay, so you're in kind of a revolved warrior, right? Holding there, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, we're going to come back and step back into that chair pose before we build again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we'll unfurl. Come up into chair, come all the way up. Inhale and exhale. So when we do simple twists, make sure you're not collapsing your rib cage to either side. Instead, we're working on revolving to each side. So let's revolve for just a second while standing before we go to the next side. So I want you to think of rotating or holding hips steady and rotating rib cage a little bit. So you can place your hands at your ribs. We're gonna inhale one way, exhale the other. Because we want to ideally move from the rib cage as opposed to our lumbar spine or from our hips, okay? So we want to think of it as a rotation. So just move the shoulders about 45 degrees to each side. And at this time of the morning, depending on how well you slept, that might be easier or harder, okay? Inhale and exhale. Now we'll move to the other side. On an inhale, drop into chair pose. Now exhale, bring the hands to your chest. So we'll rotate the opposite direction. So holding the spine tall, sink a little bit, revolve the rib cage, bring the right elbow to the left knee, and elongate the spine. I'm going to gaze over my left shoulder then, behind me, and step back with the right leg. Deep breaths in and out. You want to really try and engage the hips so that the right knee and the left knee and the right elbow, that shin bone stays right over the foot. You can even gaze down at that big toe instead. Inhale. Exhale, step back forward. Unfurl. Exhale. Inhale to come up. And then we'll do that little revolution, try it on the other side, and add to it. So just moving hips. So this revolved, stepping back, and it's actually called a revolved side angle. When we go into that pose, we really want to make sure that we watch the alignment of the knees. In other words, that knee over the foot. So we'll try the same thing again. Inhale into chair. So I'm going to inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to bring my hands into my heart center. Inhale, rotate to the right side again. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Now, this time I'm going to keep my gaze at my big toe instead of looking over my right shoulder. Inhale, I'm going to exhale, step back, balance on right foot, step back with left, and keep that right knee over my second toe. Most of my body weight is actually over my front foot as well. Now again, this can be done with the hands open. And now we're going to open that hand out and back a little bit. So take the right hand and reach back behind you, or if you're here, you can actually take the hand down and open up. So that's another option. So we have option 1, option 2, option 3, and yeah, it's a balancing one. So even I'll lose my balance. It's okay. Deep breath in. That's where we are today. Now inhale, this time we'll unfurl here. Exhale, step back to the front. So you should really feel the workings at the outer edge of the hip on that side. Inhale into that chair pose. Exhale, hands come into the heart center. Now we'll rotate to the left side. Inhale, exhale, rotate across. I'm watching my knee over my big toe. Balancing on left foot, step back with right. Now gazing there. When I feel comfortable, I'm gonna set back into the hip and keep my weight centered over that front hip. Opening it up. So again, if you're rotated from that taller stance, just reach back. Try not to overarch the back though. Stay as an extension of that back leg. Option B would be to hit the floor and rotate across. Inhale. Exhale, we'll unfurl here. Exhale, step to the front. And take a breath. One more step, we're gonna add a balance to it. So inhale, coming into chair pose. Now we should be warm. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, bring hands to the heart center, revolve to the right side. So I'm gonna rotate through and either place my hands or place my elbow. Watch my big toe. So if I'm here, I'm watching big toe, lunging back. Holding steady with the hip. Drop belly button in and open up now. Only reach back as far as you feel comfortable. And again, we can also do this revolved. Two more breaths. Unfurl here. Now, we're going to go into a revolved half moon. We did it open the last time. So I'm still facing my right leg. I'm going to balance on my right leg, but this time I'm going to reach down with my left hand. So reaching down with left hand, open up the right shoulder. I'm just going to extend here, or I can take my arm up overhead. However, I need to make sure that I stay as level as possible through hips. I'm going to rotate through the rib cage and then through the shoulder. The hand can even be straight out ahead of you if you feel more comfortable. And again, this can be a hand even that's just balancing, right? Out in front and out to the side, so that's another variation. Now inhale, we're gonna unfurl all the way up to the center, balancing on that foot and step down. So now we're squared straight ahead once again. So let's try this again, other side. And you do have to do the half moon on the other side. All right, you ready? It's just as hard for me, guys, okay? I'm the one who has to talk through it. Deep breath in, raise the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands come to the heart center. We're gonna rotate to the left side now. Rotate across. And again, we can be up and open. Gazes at that left big toe, step back with the right foot. Keep the weight in that left hip and open the hand. Okay, we can do that as another variation. Inhale, so we're going to unfurl back here. Coming up, whoop, onto the left foot. Hinge forward, but reach across with the right hand. Finding a spot on the floor. Keeping that right leg up, revolve the rib cage and open up. Now I'm not as mobile on my left side, so my arm is going to be shallower here, or I'm just going to hold on to my hip and try and open my rib cage. So again, the motion is going to be generated from behind your heart space. Inhale, exhale, unfurling, coming up to standing, and pause. Deep breath in. And hold in the center. One more time each side. And then we'll move into some more opening for the other aspects of the hip and do some other balancing poses. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart space. Inhale, rotate right. Exhale, hands or elbow down. Right hand to left hand to right thigh. Inhale, balance right foot. Exhale, step back left. 5 breaths, open the hand. Open it up. Now another variation could be the hand to the middle. That's another one. This one is called Firefly. It's not a revolved side angle, but either way, it's a lunge where you're rotating across, no matter what. Deep breath in, Exhale, unfurl. So now we're going into that revolved half moon. I'm going to step onto that right foot. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, reach down with my left hand. Rotate, rib cage open. And extend the arm. Holding hips steady. My gaze is underneath my shoulder or at my big toe. Inhale, exhale, weight the right leg. Inhale, exhale, come up to standing. And inhale, come back to the center. Other side. Deep breath in, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart space. Rotate across to the left side. Now again, hand can go down or elbow can go down. Step back with the right leg, keep the weight over the left hip. Inhale and exhale, open up the hands. So it can be Firefly or that can be an open-ended reach. Keep the weight in your hip. Inhale, exhale, unfurl. Coming up to standing, reaching that right leg out, reaching down with the right hand, rotating the left towards the left side and opening up. Revolved half moon. Try not to dip into that left hip too much. Open the shoulder. Inhale, unfurl. Keep the weight just on the left foot. Come up to standing and release. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart space. We're going to jump into the triangle series we did last week real quick. So feet or hips distance. Step back, keep the weight on the right foot, step back with the left foot. So hips are going to start square, and then we're going to rotate 45 degrees just with the hips. Make sure that your feet are about hips distance apart. The right toes are pointed straight ahead. My left toes are at a 45-degree angle pointed towards the right foot. Hips are on an angle where they're squared to that kind of short corner of your mat. And inhale, open up the arms, inhale, exhale. Place the right hand on the left shin. Spiral the rib cage open now and extend the left arm. So the hips are going to stay where they are. We're still rotating across with the rib cage. Keep your lower belly tight and the hips tucked under slightly so we're not opening up the back. You want to be balanced right over kind of where your inner thigh would be and drop up through the thighs. Deep breath in. Now, inhale, reach the fingertips forward. Still in triangle. Now, inhale, come back into triangle. Now, use that top hand to draw you upwards. Now, lunge the front knee and come into warrior two. So notice I haven't changed the position of my hips here. Deep breath in, inhale. And exhale, my toes are straight ahead. My knee is over my pinky toe. Hips are tucked under, lengthen spine, gaze is over front hand. Now we'll go into half moon, okay? So from here, step on the right leg. This time, right hand is going down. And we go down kind of like a little cartwheel. Place the hand down, foot is open, and extend. Two more breaths. Now we'll come in for a landing, so soften the front leg, lower the hips, come back into warrior two. This time we'll do a vinyasa in between, so we'll cartwheel down into a plank position. Cartwheel down, place hands on your mat, come into plank, inhale, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale, jump, step, or walk. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring the hands through to the heart space. So we'll step back with the right foot now, keeping the left foot where it is. Feet are hips distance. Coming into a warrior at first. And then we're gonna open the hips just a little bit, okay? So again, I'm squared to that short corner, straighten the front leg. I'm rotating open through my front leg, my toes are forward. This back foot, I'm rotated in 45 degrees, holding hips tight and lower belly tight. Inhale, now I'm gonna rotate my ribs open. Exhale, moving my hips, placing the left hand at the shin, lengthening through ribs, and opening my top hand. So that's triangle pose. Keep your back leg really strong with the back inner thigh engaged. Now, reach the top hand forward. Now inhale, reach up to the ceiling, come all the way up. Open up the front hand and lunge into warrior two on this side. Gazes over that front hand. Try and get your body weight into the hip of the front leg, and then this back leg is super strong and extended. It's almost like you're trying to pull your mat apart just a little bit, but also keeping the hips super steady with the spine coming up and steady in between. Now, moving into that half moon on this side. I'm going to really focus on keeping my balance over my front foot, bring my back leg in. Now I'm going to cartwheel kind of from my hips. Cartwheeling forward, reaching my left hand down. I'm going to open my body a little bit and reach up. So I'm really trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together here while I do this so that my shoulders stack on top of each other. Drawing belly in, hips tight, and really try and keep that energy line all the way to the toe that's extended. Inhale. Now exhale, coming down for a landing. Warrior two. Inhale. Cartwheel down into a vinyasa. We'll repeat this again on each side. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana, roll over the toes. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift to the hands. Exhale, soften knees. Inhale, jump, step, or walk. Feet between the hands. Lengthen spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands through. So remember, moving into right leg in front first. So stepping back, a triangle. So again, hips are going to rotate open a little bit. My front toes are pointed forward. My thigh is rotated open, back thigh is rotated inwards. That foot, the back foot's at 45 degrees. Opening up, hands, inhale. Rotate the hips, place right hand on shin. Spiral open the rib cage while keeping belly and hips tight. Keeping both legs strong and active. All 4 points of your foot on the floor. Take that top hand and reach towards the front side of the room. Elongating through the hip flexor and the side body. Now inhale, reach that hand back up to the sky. Come back up, come into warrior two. Sinking down, gazes straight ahead. Now inhale, half moon, here we go. Exhale, balancing on that front foot. Coming up, right hand towards the floor. So we're doing all the moons today. There's nothing to do with the moon today. We just wanted to rotate to each side. So then a little topsy-turvy past week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And it looks like we're in for another month of it, guys, through May 4th. And it's all for everybody's safety. So we've got some homebound stuff coming your way. Inhale and exhale. Come back down into warrior two. Opening up. Cartwheel down to take a vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Now inhale, lift to the hands, exhale, soften the knees, jump, step, walk. Feet between the hands and lengthen spine. Exhale, fold, inhale, come all the way up. We're doing a triangle on the other side and moving through this on the other side. And then I'm going to take a look at some of your comments to see if you have any requests. So we'll step back into triangle on this side, extending that left leg. And again, remember, my hips are just at that 45-degree angle. Back leg turned in. Inhale, I'm going to spiral open my ribs. Exhale, move the hips. Okay, stay open through that top hand and elongate. So I'm really elongating through my spine and my chest, keeping my abdomen long. Try not to overarch in the lower back. We want all sides of the body to be active. And then extend through the top hand. Inhale, point the fingertips to the sky, coming up into warrior two. Gaze is straight ahead. Coming into half moon. Here we go. Inhale. Right hand forward, balancing on that front leg. Cartwheel down from the hips. Placing that hand down. Extending. So my hip is open. I'm going to open up my shoulder blade and my shoulder so that I can stack my shoulder right on top. So holding there. Inhale. As you exhale, soften that front knee. Come in for a landing. And warrior two. Gaze straight ahead. Now we'll cartwheel down and we'll take a vinyasa. And I'm just going to check in and see how all y'all are doing. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're actually going to come down to the floor for a minute and try and do some core work. All right. Morning, guys. All right, so I move this forward a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more of the mat. All right. Okay. Where we're going to be is on your mat. You want to place your sit bones down on the ground. All right. So we'll move into a little bit of a boat series. So from here, I'm trying to think the best way to do this, guys. From here, I'm going to have you rest in your sit bones. Now, if your tailbone hurts at all, you can place a towel underneath your hips. I'm going to this morning. My back is a little sensitive. So I'll place sit bones down, drawing up through the lower belly. So from here, we're going to start by first really trying to engage the lower pelvis. So bringing the knees up, holding, softening the shoulders, and extend the legs. And so we're going to start first by keeping knees slightly bent. And I just want you to hold steady here and keep your spine as tall as possible. You want to keep the hip open a little bit. We don't want to round too much. Try and lengthen and open the chest. Now, open the hands and reach one leg out. And then come back up and reach the other leg out. Holding. Keep the spine tall. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands to the center. Inhale, come back in. Exhale, other side. Now we'll do it kind of like a little bit of a Russian twist. Inhale, come into the center. As you exhale, we're going to place one foot out, okay? And we'll rotate towards that side at the same time. Now really watch and be careful that this doesn't hurt your back, okay? You can also place the heel down. Now inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, other side. So you can reach out and hold. It's really critical we hold everything tight through the torso. And again, stay strong. Inhale, come back to the center. So now we'll go exhale, down, inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. So when we exhale, we really activate those obliques. Inhale, come back to the center, really open chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time each side, come back to the center, and then bring knees in and down. Now we're going to roll back and do a bridge to counter that a little bit. Hips will drop down towards our heels a little bit. You take the blanket out. If you have a blanket, roll that back down. Take the hands down. I want you to really concentrate on exhaling and drawing ribs and hips together. So inhale, exhale, draw ribs and hips together, heels come under, tuck the pelvis, and lift up. Now we really want to try to use the back side of the body to raise our body up, especially since we used a lot of the hip flexor and the quads in that last one. Inhale, exhale, release back down. And we'll do 2 more bridges, and then we'll repeat the sequence for core. Inhale, exhale, tuck pelvis, and then squeeze the back side of the body, come up. Try and keep your hips level. And lower back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. One more bridge. Inhale, exhale, tuck under, and inhale to come up. Next go around, we'll try a single-legged bridge movement. And then lower back down. So inhale, as you exhale, reach one leg forward and up, and see if you can come into that boat position. We'll inhale and exhale, holding steady here. And again, place the blanket if you need to. Really concentrate on drawing up through the lower belly and the pelvic floor. Now we'll rotate for 8. So inhale here, exhale out. Inhale, center, exhale. Inhale, center, exhale. Inhale, center, exhale. Inhale, center, exhale. This is the start of the third one. Inhale, center, exhale, here's 4. Here's 8. Now, come back onto your back. We'll do our bridge. And I'm going to have you try something here today. So, place the heels down just a little bit to the outside edges of the hips. Inhale. Exhale, tuck, then lift. Now, hands are going to come down and really engage the triceps and press down through your fists. Hold your pelvis steady and lift a leg. Now you can lift that leg up and point it to the sky. Hold the hips steady and lower it all the way down. Now try and stay as steady as possible without letting the hips drop too much to either side. Now the same thing other sides, really press down and anchor through the heel. Anchor through the arms, anchor through the core. Inhale, exhale, other side. Now raise that leg up. And then come in and down. And lower back down. Now we'll come up to the bridge one more time. So reposition the feet. Inhale, exhale, tuck. Inhale, come up into your bridge. Anchor your arms and your shoulders. Kind of rock and roll under a little bit and really extend the triceps so that your whole upper arm is pressed into the floor. Anchor through the left side, press through, and extend the right leg. 3 more breaths. Now bend the knee and raise it up if you like. And lower back down. So holding here, Again, brace the arms, hips tight, really press down through the right heel, hold pelvis steady, and extend the left leg. Raise that leg up, and lower it down, and then come all the way down. Steady the hips, and lower all the way down. Bring the knees into the chest, and we're going to roll up. This is actually a move stolen from Pilates, of all things. We're going to do a Pilates roll up. Press the ball of the foot and the heel together. Open up the knees just a little bit. I want you to draw belly button in and really squeeze those feet together. Really press them together with your inner thighs. Take the hands right underneath the space between the calf and the thigh. Arms are drawn down, shoulder blades engaged, chin is tucked, and we'll roll up. Now, we'll roll back down. So you're going to roll down, touch the shoulders to the floor, and then come back up. Inhale and exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, and pause. So a lot of torso control. Inhale, exhale, and pause. Inhale, exhale, and pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, and pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. Good. Now holding there, we'll do a little stretch. It's called Lord of the Fishes pose. We're going to tuck the right heel under. Bring the left heel across. Hold the left knee with both hands and lengthen the spine and center a heart space over the front thigh. Now, if this is too much for the bottom leg, you can keep the bottom leg straight. If this is a little bit too tight, you can also hold it here. So when we go into Lord of the Fishes, we're going to revolve again. So I am going to move across the top thigh. So inhale, lengthen. And now remember how we moved from the ribcage at the beginning of class. I'm going to rotate across and then place my left hand down just to the outside edge of my shoulders. I'm squeezing shoulder blades together and then rotating my spine kind of like it's on an axis, and I'm going to gaze over my opposite shoulder. Other variations of this include dropping the knee or wrapping the foot. But you can even just hold it here and it's totally fine as long as you're getting the rotation and as long as you're breathing. Now inhale, look to the front. Exhale, we're going to change sides. So we'll come into that little V for a second. Opposite foot comes under. So my left leg is going under. Right knee is bending up towards the sky. Now again, if this one is super tight, that leg can be straight. Okay? Up to you. Now both hands are there, lengthening my spine. I'm going to rotate and reach my hand down. I'm squeezing shoulder blades together, elongating spine like an axis, and I'm rotating. Ribcage open. Think of lifting out of your pelvis as you rotate. And again, we're still breathing. Inhale to the front. Exhale, release. Come into that little tuck. We're going to roll onto the floor for some cobras and a couple of exercises that can actually strengthen your back and spine. So we're going to rotate down and forward. Come into a plank, and then we'll lower down onto the ground. Now from here, back just a little bit. I am going to tuck my pelvis under, place my hands in front of me. So when I lift up, I'm going to be about two fists between my forehead and the floor. Shoulder blades are rolled back. I'm going to draw my belly button away from the floor also and engage my glutes. Now from here, I'm going to take my hands away and just hold that position. And I'm still breathing, my neck is long. Gaze is at the very edge of my mat. Now from here, with my elbows out, I'm just going to squeeze them together and roll back down. Squeeze together. And this is what we call kind of more of a W movement, but I am maintaining a cobra position. Now come back to the center and place the hands under the forehead. We're going to do that again, tuck the toes under, but now we'll raise the lower leg into a locust. So from here, draw belly button in, squeeze the buttocks, raise the feet about an inch. Now from here, we'll extend through the spine and just think of, instead of resting the forehead on the hands, trying to lift it off the hands, take those hands out into a Y shape and hold right there. Now if you want, drop those shoulders back and gaze a little bit ahead of you. Try not to feel any bunching or pinching in the low spine. That's where the lower belly engagement occurs. Now we're trying to engage those muscles along our thoracic spine or along our rib cage, and then move those shoulder blades as well. Now bring the hands in and lower the feet and rest. Take a few deep breaths in here. Now we're going to extend our arms into a T. Now I don't have as much room, so I'm going to do a T on one hand and a little bit of a W on the other. So from here again, I'm going to tuck my pelvis a little bit, or engage my abdomen and my glutes, raise my feet about an inch, and just gently lift my head off my hands, open my arms to the sides, and we're going to open them into a T shape this time. So what I'm going to try and do is squeeze my shoulder blades together. And I'm trying to squeeze them back behind me rather than up towards my neck. So I'm trying to keep my heart space open and engage these muscles right between my shoulder blades. Tuck your chin if you feel like your neck is engaging too much. Inhale and exhale, come back down to the floor. And do one more set of Y. So, extend the arms out in your Y. Lengthen spine. Tuck pelvis under and lift legs. And now we'll raise arms and hold. Really concentrate on this upper back movement and keeping the neck long, not crunching. Keep the neck long and really trying to lift from mid-spine and from underneath the shoulders. Chin is slightly forward, gaze is a little bit in front of your mat. Inhale, exhale, and rest back down. Now placing the hands on the floor, coming up to all fours. Holding right here. If you need padding underneath the knees, you can add your blanket back in. And do a couple of little bird dog exercises here for the core and the torso, and then come down into Shavasana. So my knees are hips distance apart. Hands are open, kind of like a tripod, shoulder blades back. And so from here, I am going to extend right arm and left leg and hold. So really concentrate on holding belly button in, glutes engaged, hips as square as possible, and lengthen through the spine. Now open out to the side a little bit. Bring the knee and the elbow together, and we'll do that again. So straight out. Now open to the corners of the mat. Bring the knee in. Do that one more time. Extend through, straight ahead. Open the hand out to the side, open the leg out to the side, and then come in and reset on the other side. So bird dog, right leg, left arm, nice tall spine. I'm going to open out to the side, bring that knee in, and back down. And do that same thing again. Extend left arm, right leg, open up, draw knee and arm together. Do that one more time. Extend, open up, and draw in and together, and pause in the middle. Now we're going to make it a little bit wider, okay? So the base of support is going to change. Really concentrate on holding lower belly to spine, and spine all the way up through the crown of the head is extended. In other words, we're trying to brace the spine at the same time. If you want, you can turn the fingertips out at this point. So what we're going to do is try and reach out from one side of the mat to the other. I'm going to hold there, take it wide. Now draw in and together, go back out. So really stabilize from the underside of the opposite shoulder too. So it really requires some counter stabilization with the other side of the body. And come in. Concentrate on your breathing. Steady spine. And come in. And we'll place the hand down. And we'll change to the other side. So shoulders tucked under. We're pressing that floor away. My weight is in my fingertips as much as possible. Now we'll transfer the weight into that left shin. Spine is braced. I'm going to reach out to the sides. Now, bringing the legs in. And again, my spine is as tall as possible in the center of my mat. And then bring it in and together. And out. And come in and together. And extend out. And then come back down to the ground and hold. We're going to move into child's pose for a second, and then a mini up dog. So we do a little bit of a moving motion release. Instead of just holding and crimping into child's pose, I want you to do just a broad-based downward facing dog to a little baby upward facing dog. And you can even move the spine a little bit more, kind of like a cat-cow motion, rolling through. Now gently rest on your heels. Toes are tucked under. And pause for just a moment here. Try and sit as tall as possible. And find your breath once again. Now, we're going to come into Shavasana on the floor. So what we'll end up doing, bringing the legs straight out. And now you get to lay flat on your back. And stay there for about 5 minutes. And deep breaths in and out. Gently rolling onto your back. And you end up going into Shavasana. That's the best part for most of you guys. So you'll place all of your things on your mat. You can even rest a towel at the top of the head. You cannot see that, you're just seeing my chair. So we're going to put a towel at the top of the mat. And rest in Shavasana, guys. And that is it for this morning. It's been quite the night. So anyway, it's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming this morning. Have a great Wednesday. And I'll see you guys at noon for gentle yoga.